What's good, y'all? This is Mr. Triple H himself, aka His Healthy Habits, and I'm getting ready to show you how I go from having braids to a full afro, like the natural afro, like the round afro you see here. That's my goal. Like, I didn't use heat, I didn't use a blowout comb.
Say what?
I want to show you a kind of real quick technique. I ain't gonna take all your time, you know, but make sure you stay tuned to the end, and I'll show you how I went from basically my braids to my full out afro. Basically what I'm doing today is I'm showing how I turn my hair from the braids you see, or whatever style I usually have, into my fro. I get asked all the time, number one, is it my real hair? Number two, how do I get my hair into like a natural fro look? So this may be a little bit different from some of the tutorials y'all see on YouTube, but this is kind of how I like to do it. I actually saw another YouTuber do it this particular way, where they like, you know, the roundness and fullness that comes from not using like the blow dryer, not using like the flat iron. I don't like to put a lot of heat on my hair, so that's why I kind of like to do it naturally, and I like to bring it from its fullest potential, or its lengthiest potential, versus like coming out the shower, washing it, and then therefore, you know, having that shrinkage. So this is why I like to go from this style, or this particular braid style, just a braid style in general. And I'm showing y'all how I do that and the different things I use. So let's get started. So first things first, of course, you know, I need water, add a little moisture to it. And then I am also using, for today, this is not a particular brand I promote, I'm just using it because I'm trying it out. It's by Lotta Body, and it's coconut shea oil, the Fortify Me strengthening and leave-in conditioner. So I'm gonna use that also for some extra moisture so my hair doesn't break off. Then I also add in, which is one of my favorite, man, Camille Rose Cocoa Nibs and Honey Ultimate Strength Serum. So I've been using this oil for a long time, for actually a couple of years. I really feel it's a big reason why my hair grew as long as it did. At actually one point I was balding, and then I decided to grow my hair out. Camille Rose Honey Hips, that's all. Camille Rose Honey Hips. So those are the things I also use. Also, I'll be using the detangling comb. This is actually one of my favorites to use after I take out my hair versus starting with the pick. I bought a couple other ones, and I'm gonna pull straight out the package. This is a double red pick that I use, and so you can see it. I also use our jumbo rake comb, and then last but not least, finishing off with, you know, the normal metal pick. So actually, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go from the back to the front, and taking out my hair first. And so what I'll do here is taking out this back braid. And this time, you know, I don't have a lot of braids. It's just, so what I do is first I like to do it by section, and kind of, you know, like I said, there are some products still in my hair, which for me that's actually worked out better to keep the length. And I don't spray too much, you know, water, because I do want to keep the length. You know, of course, water will create some type of shrinkage, which we will have later on, but I just want to keep as much length on my fro as possible when I'm doing that. So like I said, I'll do that one section at a time. Then I will spray a little leave-in conditioner on the section that I just took out. Like I said, not a lot though. I don't want my hair real damp, because I do want to maintain as much length. And so what I'll do after I do that, I'll take my jumbo rake comb, and as you see here, kind of just from the ends go inward. So again, I start from the ends, and then I just gonna go inward. So I hopefully have that, you know, natural separation with my fro. And take out, like, you know, those crinkles or waves, whatever you want to call it, that were with the original braid. And again, like I said, you see I start from the end. I do want that natural curl, you know, from the fro out there. I don't want to look too crinkly since again I didn't wash my hair. We're doing this from the most lengthiest state. So this is the first comb I use. And after that, I see, you know, I'm kind of able to run the comb through in all aspects. What I like to do is just kind of depending on how dry my hair is. I'll tell if it's like super dry, and I'll add a little bit more water, not much, just so it doesn't break off. And then next, I like to use the detangling comb. So detangling comb, but I'll use more of the detangling comb layer. I really like these, you know, due to the bend and versus the rake comb. They won't pull out a lot of your hair. So I usually like to use these, especially at the ends, to give that fullness to the fro later. You'll see why we come back with that. So, you know, that's how it's gonna look. What I do is I will use what I'll do is I'll tie down this section up kind of in its own space from the root, using this, you know, this velvet scrunchie.
This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
Boom, hold it to the side. Like I said, we do the backs first, then I'm gonna go to the other side. And that's basically kind of what I do with each part when I'm taking it out. I'll kind of fast forward through showing y'all how I do each part, because of course, you know, I don't want it to be repetitive, but once you do one part, it's pretty much all the same. Now again, like I said, this is if you're taking out your braids and you want, like I said, that fuller fro. Yeah, I want that fuller fro. You know, you want as much length as possible, you know? Like I'm going for length. So that's why I didn't go and wash my hair first. Because like I said, I know there are tutorials out there about this, but it was actually one tutorial I saw that had this type of structure. And I'll fast forward through this so y'all can get to the afro part. I know that's what y'all came for. Alright, so now that all the hair is all taken out, what I like to do first before I just comb it all together, I like to oil my scalp. Basically kind of like where you see like the separations. I may use a lot, you know, I kind of just like do a couple drips, especially in the back, in the areas, you know, where it may have been like itching or the braids, like the base of the braids were. And then I'll massage that in myself after. So kind of just like that. Really trying to get my scalp oiled, because I guess I'll put a little bit on my fingertips too, just to kind of get on the sides there. This is a big part of like my hair growth journey too. I know there's like rules and stuff like the hair, when you hear so much information, what to do, what not to do. I'd probably break a lot of them, but this is one thing I do. So scalp is oiled. What I also do is I like to put some oil again on the ends. It's big about like breakage. This is like the most hair that came out, which is crazy, when I was taking out my comb. So now what I'm gonna do. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is basically you're gonna see, like, I'm gonna start from the back. I'm gonna comb it forward. I was gonna come forward. I'm gonna bring my hair down in the back to kind of make it fuller, and then a lot of this here, from basically this half on forward of my hair, is gonna come forward, and of course the bangs that hang down. And I'll start just kind of putting the water and in to kind of shape it, and I'll start using, you know, both of my double pick combs, my double pick and my regular comb. I'll kind of show you. So I kind of like to use the double pick comb first, and and I use the metal long tooth pick comb second, and that's usually kind of like my shaper, my finisher. And this is key too right here, this part I learned, you know, bringing it down to make it look more fuller. So I do comb through, and if I have any parts that kind of still stuck together, you'll see me use the water bottle, a little bit more, and a little leave-in conditioner just to separate it, to have that more natural look, that natural flow. Man, it's like a big secret. I love this double pick comb, if you can see it, you know. You have to kind of go search for it. I'm pretty sure it's on Amazon. I found it in like a beauty supply store. So I start from the back and work, and I like to comb down. This is the only part I actually comb down and back. A little bit more with the metal pick. Now, I know a lot of people tend to pick with the roots and bottom up, but I like that fuller look for mine, and not having a separated stringy look of the hair or that flat iron look. You know, like I said, I want a natural full afro, kind of like you can see, like, you know, with the Black Panthers. When the Black Panthers had their afros, that was actually like my inspiration initially behind growing my hair out. Now from these parts here, what I'm gonna do is, all this is basically gonna get like combed forward for most parts, like bringing it forward here, and here of course we'll have the bangs, and then you'll see me shape it more after I comb it all out. So. Now I'll start combining all the hair together. Alright, so this is kind of how it looks all combed out. You can see it's still a little stringy, but that's cool. You know, as the days go by, you know, you naturally get that natural sweat, natural water, natural moisture, humidity. It'll look more together. This is first day afro hair, so I'll let you see here, you know, what it looks like. So now what we're gonna do is one more time, I'm gonna go through it with the detangling comb. I like to start from the front. Now I kind of just make like a circle. I kind of like people to think of like maybe your crown around the head. At any point, you know, like I said, add any water on parts that feel like super dry. Like I said, the goal here for this tutorial is to maintain as much length as possible. Alright, so you kind of had that crown look. That's it. You have, like I said, your water. You have your leave-in. If you want to do like some spritz around the edges of your leave-in, you can. Really your preference. Or like I said, I did around the center here. And then now we're going to kind of go ahead and start picking it out. I like to pick from the center forward. If that makes sense. So, yep. And I start at the top. And I just start on one side. And just kind of pay attention to the shape of it as it goes. You see here, it's starting to shape. So I use the metal comb for this one. But I'm pretty sure any pick will do it. So you kind of see here, as I'm picking from the front to the back, how it's looking. See the difference in this side, starting to pick versus the side that we haven't picked yet. Just kind of, I pick from the roots and kind of out. So kind of like as you see, I pick in from the roots, and as I'm coming out, I kind of pull out like that. So pull it in and pick out, in, out. That's kind of the movement. And as I'm coming out, I'm kind of pulling out simultaneously, real quick. if that makes sense. So like I say, I get in the root and I'm kind of pulling up and then out. I'm doing just in a real quick motion. I've been doing this like now for almost over a year. So little fab, I remember when I first saw the technique from somebody else, I kind of had to practice it a little bit slower to do it. And then usually, I guess I go to the front last. Like I said, the goal for me is I'll start on one half or half side of the hair. From my perspective, I really like, of course, my front to look full, and I like the middle part to kind of be really roundish as much as possible. So you see here now we're getting that round shape. See, there we go. So kind of seeing that rounding off now of that side. Seeing that rounding off coming in. And the back part, like I said, you can always do last and I combine together. But this is how I do it. I really like kind of my fro to look full at the top. Stand up as much as possible. That's another reason why I don't wash my hair or, really oversaturate it with water beforehand, because the first couple days I wear my fro, especially like say I'm wearing it out the day of, I like it to look full as possible. And it actually starts to look more rounder as the days go by. And I also have another tutorial video on how I maintain my fro. That was another thing, maintaining your fro. Of course, when you go to sleep, especially for those of y'all who have the length, or even for those of you who may like shorter styles, just not having to go through this every single day as much with the reshaping and stuff of that nature. So, that's it. So you see here now, we have our right side here, and you'll see here what I'll do is this kind of gets more shapier. I'll pull from bottom up. And then also getting this part down here now that I can see it rounder, and pull from, like I said, the root lifting up and kind of out. Alright, so now you can kind of see more and more as it's shaping, So what I like to do after I kind of shape that part, I do like to take the detangling comb and get the front part. And it kind of, for my bangs, it really brings out my bangs even more. I get all that front part there. And then I kind of fluff it here too. And if you really, I like to kind of shape it with the detangling comb. So then you see here, the detangling comb is easier after you pick it out to get that roundness. So I kind of pull it in and pull it out, same way I was doing the comb. I'll do this for the edges. Really kind of giving it that full roundness. This is my trade secret. People are like, man, even people who have natural hair, how do you get your hair to kind of go as round and as full as possible? And this is the detangling comb that I use at the end after doing the fro. Okay, so we got that right side kind of so you can see the process of what we used, those two combs. So now I'm gonna kind of go ahead and go to the left side. If you're taking your pictures, selfies, people see you in public, this is the main part, of course, that they're gonna see. So you see it's kind of coming into play. So then again, I'll take the front part here and get that part. And now I'm gonna start kind of messing as I see both sides are coming together. I will, do the finger pick too to pull it out. Just taking my fingers, shaping it, and then now going away from the back. So the only part I come back is the part from the bottom of the top of the back of my head on down. And I come that out after I kind of get the fullness of the other one. Then I start following kind of like, so I pick, finger, pick, fingers, pick, and using my fingers also to help shape it. So as you can see here now, getting the fullness of it. And since my hair is different colors, you can definitely see the dramatics behind different parts. And versus it, when it used to be like all black. So now that we got that, we're gonna take the detangling comb, hit the left side. And again, creating that crown. Just picking out the piece. And this, like I said, to get that fuller look and that separation at the ends that I kind of like. Okay, so you see now it's kind of coming into play. And the cool thing about it, you kind of mess with it. So what I do is I like to do shake. I shake my head forward. And then after I shake my head out, and then I'll shake it out. Sometimes you can shake it like in a circle. The opposite way to get everything out there, and you kind of see where you're at. You can shape it from there even more. And like I said, I like to pull my bangs down in the front. I use the detangling comb to do that. My hair looks super wild.
Wild boy, ain't wild boy.
And what you can do to shape it, after you kind of find out like how you like it, y'all see? And I'll kind of spray water on the edges here. I like, and just kind of start patting it. Pull and pat. I call it like the pull and pat. So pull, pat, pull, pat, pull, pat, pull, pull, pat. And this is how you shape it. And I'll just do this all throughout, the week too, as I start to see it come into formation more. What you see here, just kind of finding that, pull and pat. So pull, pat, pull, pat. You can do it with the same hand, pull, pat. And of course you're gonna have probably some parts that are longer than others. This is how you even it out. And then boom. So that is kind of where it starts, as you come from the braids. So I guess this is for me, like I said, keeping kind of like your natural curl texture and curl length without modifying it with like blow dryers or flat irons and things like that.
Just let your soul glow. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul, baby, feeling oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine through. Just let your soul glow.
I really like kind of that natural look of the fro. You don't see that like with a lot of people anymore, especially like on men, I like the wild look too of it.
Wild boy, ain't I need
So, like I said, I'll just pull first. And I kind of pull everywhere that needs to be pulled around. like I said, I like my hair in the front because I got a big forehead, y'all. Woo! So that actually takes away from my big forehead. Bro, I'll probably pick it out and I'll show y'all like the back side too. So the back side, of course, you may not be able to see as much. I didn't put as much effort into the back. I will later. But like I said, just kind of having that roundness at the bottom. And like I said, you can always use the double tooth comb to make it more fuller initially. I do pull from like the roots on this one. And then after that, yet again, you could always, then you go to your normal pick comb. You know. And find that, and you can always like lift up on the parts, like I said. And then after that, the detangling comb can also, from the edges, make it look fuller and rounder from the back too. I really like to get these parts down here with the detangling comb. I really like to get these parts right here with the detangling comb, have it looking full. So as you see here, now we have it. This is without using any heat on my hair. Like, I'm really big on not using heat on my hair. I remember one point when I was growing my hair out and I did use heat for a little while, I saw my hair to fall out immediately, and that scared me. So ever since then, like, I stopped using all forms of heat on my hair. That's just my rule. I'm not against it, you know, if anybody else does. I know I saw when I started using heat on my hair, that's when it started breaking off really easily. And that was one of the things that I stopped doing. So that's a quick tip for y'all. But, you know, I am a part of the bandana crew. I call it the bandana boy crew. So when you see me, I like to use my bandana here and tie it around. And then, you know, kind of tie my bandana around to add that coolness. Tie my bandana around. You know, you can kind of barely see it in my head, you know, right here. So much hair I got in the front, which is super dope. But that's my style. And as you see, Mr. His Healthy Habits with his fro and his bandana. And hopefully this helped out, y'all. So this is my tutorial on basically how I achieve my fro. The reason why I like to use this technique is because it keeps my hair more lengthier and fuller compared to when I notice when, you know, the standard rules of, you know, wash it, condition it, oil it, all that beforehand. But man, I would have half the size of my fro when I would do that, which for me, you know, was more about length. And I saw a couple other tutorials, maybe very few, 1 or 2 tutorials and people doing it with this technique, and I actually thought I was kind of going against the grain. But you know, sometimes that's what you got to do. You got to break the rules. Don't break the law, break the rules.
The rules. We have so many rules in life about everything. I say break the rules, not the law, but break the rules. It is impossible to be a maverick or a true original if you're too well behaved and not want to break the rules. You have to think outside the box. That's what I believe after all. What is the point of being on this earth?
Wow, boy.
Wow, boy.
Healthy habit is healthy hair. You know, healthy hair is a habit that we want to have, especially as men. I know we tend to not put so much focus into our hair when it comes to like growing and the things that we need to do in order for it to grow, because most of the time, you know, we hit like our early to mid 30s, sometimes 40s, it goes the reverse route. So I was trying to go against the grain. Versus my hair falling out, I wanted it to grow it out. So versus my hair falling out, I wanted to grow it out. When I was going through some super stressful times in my life, and I know we as men, we hold on to a lot of stress and emotional baggage that we don't communicate and talk about. And you know, fellas, kings, man, just know you're not alone. Like, at one point in time, I was balding. And now you see where my hair is at, you know? So it's not like I've always been the type of person that had long hair. I wasn't mixed, you know, to have that type of hair texture that just grows with the quickness once you cut it. No. Like, I was actually balding, and I've researched a lot of techniques and strategies on how to grow your hair out, especially for me, because I knew I wanted an afro when I started to grow out my hair. found that. I'm gonna do a couple more videos. So man, if y'all like this, let me know. You know, if you want to know about how I grew my hair out, what products and stuff I was using, what techniques, what strategies, comment in the video. Let me know, man. If you have any constructive criticism on a different way to do anything I showed today, you know, feel free to let me know in the comments to share. You know, that's what this channel is about. It's about developing those holistic habits to have just a peaceful and more happy life. And just remember, you're not alone. All right, check me out. Wishing y'all the best. Hit the like button if you like this video, and I'll see y'all soon.